This is a lot of fun. It's been a long, long time since I've done an in-person event like this. So this is like really special. You're my first time back to a conference circuit. I'm founder of Origin Protocol. We've been building in the blockchain space since 2017. Real focus around how people actually buy and sell real things on the blockchain. And towards the end of last year, as we were struggling to get people to use our marketplace and some of the technology we built, we made a conscious decision to focus exclusively on stuff that's native to crypto. Let's go deep into DeFi, let's go deep into NFTs. So the thing that we did was an NFT drop with DJ Blau. Yeah, that's good right there. And so we did this drop with DJ Blau, where we sold some NFTs on the Origin platform, and it broke everyone's expectations. At the time, it was a new record in the NFT space, and we sold $11.7 million worth of NFTs. And he took his album from 3 years ago, tokenized it, and sold it on our platform. And one of the things we did that was really novel that hadn't been done before was this leaderboard format of selling NFTs. In typical auction, you have a single winner, and everyone else goes home empty-handed, even though they were willing to pay something to participate in the event. And so by having a leaderboard, not only were we able to maximize revenue, because first place bidder paid $3.6 million, but guess what? The second place bidder paid $3.5 million. So it maximized revenue for Blau, but also created a much more fun and engaging experience for the people who are participating in this auction. And so since then, we've been inundated with interest from the entire music industry, people in pro sports, celebrities, athletes, all sorts of people in different categories who are asking the same question. First, what the fuck is an NFT? And two, how do I get in on this? And so I think most of you probably know what NFTs are. Digital certificates of uniqueness. They're alphanumeric strings on the Ethereum blockchain or on other blockchains. And you can transfer them and everyone can see exactly who the owner of that alphanumeric string is, that certificate. And you can transfer them, you can sell them, you can trade them, and then you can grow a community around them. That community is really what gives them value. Just like ERC20 tokens are just alphanumeric strings, and you can have many of them that all look technically the same, but what really gives one token of value over another is the communities, the people around it who agree this is what this alphanumeric string represents, and this is something we believe is going to have value. And humans have been collecting things for a long time. We buy houses, we buy cars, we buy handbags, we buy watches. We enjoy buying and owning and collecting things. But what happens when your life moves online? When you're better friends with someone who lives on the other side of the planet than your own next door neighbor? And this is true for me. I know more people in other parts of the world than I do right next door to me. And so what happens in digital collectibles are a very natural evolution of this ongoing process of things moving more and more online. We still have all those same desires to own, to collect, to show off, to flex, but now we're wanting to do it in the digital world where we're all hanging out. You may have seen this piece of art. $69 million, this is from Beeple. And one of the things that's really interesting, so this was 150 days of art, so he did, or sorry, it's more as, but he every day he made a piece of art, and then he made this collage and sold it. And I think what's interesting about this is you look at this, and I'm not an art critic, but it's it isn't obvious to me why it's worth $69 million. But what there is here is proof of work. There's proof that this artist has been at it every single day. And so that proof of work is what gives value to Bitcoin. It's also part of what gives value to art like this. You can see the amount of labor, the amount of time he's put in to creating this art, whether you appreciate this particular style or not. But art is just the beginning of what NFTs can represent. And so we think a lot about what are the future applications of what we can unlock with these NFTs that have never been done before. And we think a lot about these use cases that when we look forward to the future, why wouldn't the title for your house be an NFT? Why would the title to your car not be an NFT? Current systems are so archaic and silly. I don't know how it works here in Taiwan, but in the US, if you want to buy a home, you have to go down to the courthouse and make sure there's not a lien on your property. There's no central registry of who owns what properties. You have to go and do this very laborious process to figure it out. Well, the reason that it started with art, why NFTs are taking off in art, is that you need to have 100% participation in the community for it to work. So the reason the title thing doesn't work is that you need to get the entire world or the entire city or the entire country on board in that system for it to work. With art, you only need to get one artist. And that makes it a lot easier because the artist can say, this is how I sign my work digitally on the blockchain, and you only need that one person to do it, and as long as everyone can go and check his signature from his key, everything works. The three use cases that we're focusing on at Origin for NFTs is how we can unlock physical goods, how we can unlock premium digital content, and how we can give you access to premium experiences, the things you can't buy today. And I thought it'd be fun to just run through some of the NFT drops we've done since the Blau drop in February, and tell you some of the ways we've actually seen the artists doing this. So Lupe Fiasco, as far as physical goods, he gave away signed skateboards that the holders of his NFT could redeem. For Ryan Tedder, he had collectibles, actual physical art that he had made, and he would send you a signed copy of this physical art to anyone who's holding that NFT. Ryan Tedder, of course, is the singer from One Republic. Jake Paul went YouTube celebrity turned boxer, got in a fight with Ben Askren, and the winner of his auction gets the signed pair of gloves from that actual fight. So it's kind of cool stuff that you can't usually get your hands on. Now these NFTs are giving you access to not only to these physical goods, but actually access to that individual or that creator themselves. Second thing we've seen is around digital content. For Lupe Fiasco, buying his NFT was a ticket into a live stream event, and anyone who bought the NFT could get access to go in and watch this live streaming event. For Bassjackers, they wrote 6 brand new songs that had never been released before, and they gave the NFT holders access to these songs. And these are going to be released on Spotify and played at concerts and festivals all over the world, but they came to NFT holders first. And then Dude with Sign, if you've seen this internet meme, digital phenomenon, one of the things he offered was the opportunity to actually stand in the sign with him. And you get to decide what goes on the sign. They can go stand there on the street in New York or wherever around the world, hold up the sign, and then post that to the millions and millions of followers they have across Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, etc. And one of the coolest things are the premium experiences that these artists are offering with their NFTs. So for Bassjackers, they offered a VIP backstage pass for life. Whoever's holding this NFT can come backstage at the show. Now remember, these things are exchangeable. You can sell them, you can trade them. So that means I can sell this access pass to someone else, and they can resell it, and so on and so forth. They actually went so far as to say the first place winner in their auction got naming rights of a song and could actually come up on stage anytime they play at a festival while their song is playing. So you could get called up, you could go on stage at EDC and say, this is my song, like I named it, right, Maya Coin or whatever. Ryan Tedder offered unique experiences of getting feedback on a song or a musical piece that you were working on. Things that you just don't usually get access to. And Jake Paul offered access not only to his next fight and being able to be ringside at his next fight, but you get invited to the after party as well. And so these are just some of the examples we have. Of course, next slide. Of course, we support just good old-fashioned digital collectibles as well. Just really cool pieces of art. Often they're animated, often they're attached with cool music, that loops. But these are also very popular. We did a drop with Mike Dean and Shepard Fairey, who's been doing a lot of NFT art lately, and so we did that as well. And it's another great use case, and it continues to be one of the most popular use cases for NFTs right now. So what we're doing at Origin, we want to offer something that doesn't exist in the market today. And that's the ability for creators to sell NFTs on their own website under their own brand. You don't have to be in the mix of a whole bunch of other stuff that you may not like or it might not have anything to do with your brand. On Origin, you can run it on your domain and control the entire look and feel and the whole experience. One of the things we're very proud of is that our technology doesn't fall over. Not to throw shade at our competitors, running a real-time auction is really hard. But it says a lot that just keeping your site online puts you best in class in this space right now. Our team, I'll tell you a little bit about Origin. We're, like I said, we started in 2017. I started with Matthew Liu. He was one of the early product managers at YouTube, and as part of that acquisition to Google. Matt and I have built a number of successful businesses together before we started working on Origin. And one of the things we're most proud of is just a team that we've been able to put together. At Origin, we have one of the founders of PayPal working on our team. We have first engineer from YouTube, early engineering managers from Google and Dropbox. And this has really helped us as we've continued to iterate and try and find that product market fit. So right now there's two different formats that we are supporting, and we're really serving two completely distinct audiences that are really important to understand. So the first is open editions, and you can think of these a little bit like flash sales, typically run for 10 to 30 minutes, unlimited amounts, and you can buy them. Low price point, relatively speaking. Right? Usually people sell these for hundreds or low thousands of dollars. And they're really targeted at the mainstream fans of these creators. People pull up a credit card and say, I want to support this artist, I want to buy my first NFT, and now you can do it on the Origin platform. And we're helping them. This is a format that we're encouraging a lot of the creators who are just getting into the space to start with. A lot of these creators have millions and millions of fans on their social media, but they don't know how to actually engage with the crypto community. And so this is a great place to start. The other format we have is this auction. We have this novel leaderboard format that we first launched for Blau. It's typically a 24 to 48 hour auction. It's multiple winners. It's a really fun, engaging experience. During that auction, we have like usually a clubhouse room with thousands of people. People start cheering and getting really excited every time someone bids. We have extension mechanisms, so at the end of the auction, every time someone raises their bid, the auction gets extended out for another 3 minutes, and so it keeps it really fun and exciting for everyone. In the auctions we've done, the numbers tend to get really large. So for Blau, we did $3.6 million was the top bid, and so this is strictly cryptocurrency for obvious reasons. Maybe you can put $3.6 million in your credit card, but mine gets declined every time I try. So what are the secrets to running a successful NFT sale? Now, there's really 3 things that are absolutely critical. The first is persistence. The people who are doing best in this space have been at it for a long time. We're not coming in, fly by night, just try and grab the money and leave. There are people who have put in the time, getting to know the community. For Blau, he's been in the space for years. His first NFT, I think he sold for like a fraction of an ETH, like very, very small sale, but he put in the time. People, with his everydays, day after day after day, putting in the time, showing that commitment to the space. And we're seeing even new artists coming into the space, people that may surprise you, people like Paris Hilton, coming in, not in the NFT space, but she's putting in the time. She's showing the community, she's slowly winning over the community by inviting the top collectors over to her home, spending time buying artwork from other people, promoting them, lifting them up, featuring their artwork on her Instagram and her social media. And these sorts of things really, really help build those that trust with the community. The second thing is authenticity. People can tell if you're just in it for money. They can tell that you don't really understand what this is. You don't really believe in it. You're just trying to come in and grab the money. But when you come in and you show that authenticity, that is really what people are looking for and respond well to in this space. And of course, relationships. Like I said, like Paris Hilton inviting the top collectors over to this space. There are a limited number of people who are bidding millions or tens of millions of dollars on NFTs. And so if you're wanting to set a new record, you better know who those bidders are. You better be putting in the work to build those relationships. You also need to be doing it on a wider scale as well. How are you actually growing your audience? How are you actually finding those collectors and convincing them that they should be a part of your community? And the way you do that is by putting in the time, being persistent, being authentic, and also giving back, giving first to that community. If you want to be a part of this, we do have our own tokens called OGN. It's trading on Binance and Coinbase, and it's a great way for everyone to participate in the future of NFTs with us. One of the coolest things we've seen is every time we jump on a call with one of these creators, first thing he always tells us is, just so you know, I bought a bunch of OGN. And so that's always really exciting for us to hear. And it's a great way for you guys to participate as well. And so with that, I don't know how much time I have left, but I'll take any questions, but I'm allowed.
Thank you, Josh, and I did buy a bunch of OGN. So yeah, we have a quick time for some questions. If anyone wants to ask a question for Josh, we have him here. Anybody, any questions? Ian, Peter? Okay.
Who are some of your biggest competitors?
Nifty Gateway would be the closest competitor. They are, the biggest difference for them is there's a marketplace where there's a lot of content there, but they're doing scheduled drops. The biggest complaint creators have is that they have to get in line, and they're just being inundated with demand from all of these different creators. And Nifty are having to play the role of curators, deciding who gets to launch and who doesn't. For us, we don't, we're sort of playing the role of curator right now, but we don't want to be. We want to allow anyone to create their own store on their own domain. It's kind of like the Shopify versus Amazon model, right? Where for Amazon, there's a whole bunch of different stuff there. They get to choose what they feature. For us, we want to enable all creators to create their stores, and then we'll just pick the ones that are doing the best and are getting the most traffic, and then we'll highlight those and share those with our community.
Awesome. Are there any other questions? Or there's a lot of questions. Maybe we'll just ask both of them at the same time.
One at a time, please. One at a time.
You mentioned that your NFT marketplace is very fast and scalable, so I imagine that Origin is scalable and fast. I'm just curious briefly if you can explain how Origin works such that it's fast. I assume you mean faster than Ethereum today, so I'm just curious what's behind that.
I just wanted to get the
Okay.
Okay, sure. So I was just wondering, in terms of the NFT you just spoke about with Bassjackers, where they released a song, but then that was early and that's going to be released, I presume, on a label afterwards and on Spotify and that kind of thing. Do you have much insight into the developments of how that publishing, the royalties in that are going to be taken care of?
Yeah, so in Bassjackers' case, I think they're independent, which makes it a lot simpler. A lot of the people we're working with are independent or have we're taking different positions with record labels, and we've had a lot of conversations with the big four. A lot of people are either very independent or they're taking the approach of we'll ask for forgiveness instead of permission. The truth is that everyone's trying to figure this out, and there are no clear answers at this point around how you actually view these things, how they fit into traditional licensing rights, publishing rights, music rights. But this is all being figured out as we speak, largely by people just doing it and then figuring out with the record labels after the fact. To your question about the speed and performance, so the NFT platform is actually a centralized platform, and it actually is, you can think of it a little bit like a centralized exchange where we give you a deposit address, you deposit your crypto, you trade, and then you withdraw your crypto when you're done. And that is actually, even though it sort of flies in the face of a lot of the ethos of crypto, it does help us have a much faster and more stable experience than if we were forcing everyone to use MetaMask.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Josh, and
Thank
thank
you.
you so much for being here.